Assange, free Manning, no extradition. Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Your participation today is part of an international series of events being carried out by our world movement and other organisations ahead of the start of Julian Assange's extradition hearing on February 24 in London. This is a lawless kangaroo court aimed at delivering Assange, an award-winning journalist, into the hands of the brutal American prison system.
I think there's a real groundswell, and it's growing exponentially every day. The number of people that supporting our stand is phenomenal.
Julian Assange is a publisher, he's a journalist, and for him to be facing extradition for the legal pursuit of his business is just it's outrageous. It's medieval.
Assange and WikiLeaks have played a critical role in informing workers and young people internationally about the crimes and machinations of governments and corporations internationally.
I don't think he's guilty of anything other than journalism. Insofar as what I think of the charges, I think they're fabricated.
Should journalists be tortured and imprisoned for life when they expose war crimes? The answer is not complicated. It's obvious to anyone who hasn't been propagandised out of their own clarity.
At the school where I work, previously called Footscray City College and now Footscray High School, on 3 different occasions, teachers and education support staff have voted to support Assange and Manning. In December, importantly, we passed 2 resolutions voting in support of Assange and Manning and demanding that the federal Morrison government use its diplomatic powers to organise the safe return of Assange to Australia. The Socialist Equality Party and CFP members are the first in the world to pass resolutions of support of Assange at their workplaces, and we certainly don't want to be the last.
We are demanding that the Morrison government intervene into this situation. It has the power. It can't claim it does not.
The Australian government from Julia Gillard onwards has been cowardly, destructive.
He's a political prisoner. Australia's not standing up for it. The media and the politicians are not standing up for Julian Assange.
I'd just like to thank the SEP for getting us all together today at this very critical time for Julian, when his future is going to be decided. And, it's so critical that, we all have to do as much as we possibly can. That's why I'm here today.
In the eyes of the workers and young people who are coming into struggle against their governments around the globe, there is no question that Chelsea Manning and Julian Assange are viewed as heroic symbols of defiance and resistance.
I think he represents our right to know the truth. He's an important person.
WikiLeaks is, hugely important publisher to have for our time when governments are, keeping these secret, and the entire world should be knowing about.
The thing that governments fear the most is the emergence of a new generation of Julian Assanges, of Chelsea Mannings or Edward Snowdens.
This is about freedom of speech. It's about all of our rights to know and tell the truth.
If everybody could see the full collateral murder video on TV, I don't think anyone would ever want their governments to take them to war again.
The determination of the Trump administration and its British and Australian allies to railroad Assange into prison is because in the final analysis they are conspiring to commit even greater war crimes than those exposed by Manning and WikiLeaks a decade ago.
Seeking to render him back to the United States to face trial on 18 charges of espionage because in 2010 he published leaked information exposing war crimes.
Petitions that have been signed by hundreds of thousands of people calling on the government to act on Assange's behalf have been tabled before empty Senate and House of Representatives chambers and filed and ignored.
Yes, I think the problem is from the top down. I think the solution is going to come from the bottom up.
That if I could tell Julian anything right now, it would be rest, mate, rest. We've got you. Because he can't do anything more. And it's up to us now to stand up, all as one, every small person, in every way that you can, so that that we will carry him out of there. It's not up to him anymore, it's up to us.
Free Assange! Free Assange! Free Manning! No extradition!
And it is up to us. What does that mean practically? It means a turn to the working class to develop its independent struggle against the capitalist profit system and the governments that defend it. Specifically on the issue of Assange, as we've already said a few times today, we call on workers in every area, both union and non-union, manufacturing and building workers, miners and dock workers, IT workers, nurses and doctors, teachers, bank workers and media professionals to organise now in defence of Assange and Manning, do what they've done at the Footscray School and form a workplace committee, pass a resolution demanding their freedom and circulate it as widely as possible among other workers in your sector or industry.